dive off into this damn game and let's see what you guys think, because I'm gonna be honest, what Joe's just said is a fact. You better watch out for Rashid Shaheed. He can change this game in an instant. I mean, and y'all saw what he did. He broke that kickoff, and the rest was history. I mean, like, they never look back. Yeah, he's a must. I mean, like, I'm just telling y'all right now that it is a complete must. So let's get the panel up, man. Let's get them talking about this. Let's get this thing going. Because me personally, I have.
Good morning, guys.
I have some thoughts on what I think is going to happen in this game. My boy A-Train. A-Train, you snuck on here? My boy A-Train.
Let's go. NMP, baby. What's up, Swag? Good morning. What's up, fellas?
What's up? Damn, I thought I had enough room for all you guys. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get y'all up here.
We can always switch out too, you know what I mean? We can always switch out. I don't mind dropping for people.
All right, so Callie, I'm gonna get you up here because it's your division. So don't you go nowhere. I'm gonna get you up here, I promise you. Because it's his division. I mean, he had to play both of these teams with the 49ers. Guys, honestly, guys, what do y'all think? Because I was sitting back thinking about this last night, and I was saying to myself, what would I do if I was Seattle? How would I attack? Because the last time I played the Rams, they had my ass. They had me. I mean, so I was able to come back, but they had me. I mean, so what would I do different?
So Swag, we have to stop pretending. Like, I know it's not us because we all watch football, but there's a lot of people that haven't seen what Sam Darnold has done last year. Like, we have to stop pretending that he's not a good quarterback. Like, he's a good quarterback. Like, the whole – I feel like every game that they've been in, Swag, where they've been low-key the underdogs, it's always because of our quarterback. That's our weakness, but he wins the game. Every single game, it's like that. We have to stop pretending that he's this dog shit quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He doesn't need to be Superman. He just needs to do enough, just like I said. But, yeah, that's my take.
You know, coach, you got coach. I'm gonna meet you.
Yeah. I was over here filming up. I'm trying to get ready for this snowstorm. Go ahead, meet me up.
So that's a hell of a statement, King say. Because here's my thoughts. I thought the same thing. Can we need to stop?
Exactly.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, I get it. He may not be what you want him to be, but he is definitely what Seattle want him to be. I mean, like, so he look.
He's playing well, man, and all he really has to do is go out there and Trent Dilfer the shit out of you.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean,
he can beat Brad Johnson. He can beat Dilfer. They're gonna win.
That's funny, man.
It's funny. It's funny because I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. Corey. He's a little bit better than Trent Dilfer. I'm just saying.
What's up, Cheryl?
What I'm saying is, it's his job to just not fuck it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just don't fuck it up for the defense. Don't turn it over, and you're good.
And that's true. Bag, what's up, man?
But that's
what's good, Swag. What it do, baby?
I just want to holler at you. Go ahead, Tim. You were about to say something.
No, I mean, this is every time Seattle's lost, it's been very cut and dry. Sam Darnold is your stereotypical pocket QB, and he's very good at it. He has one of the best throws in the NFL. He had one of the best balls coming out of USC. It's not rocket science, but it's always been his bugaboo that if you can get his pocket to collapse in under 2 seconds, he gets off his spot, accidents happen. If his offensive trenches can hold it to 2 seconds or above, he's going to pick you apart. He's going to be by 1,000 paper cuts. And it's never, and every game that he's lost, it's because he's getting pushed out of his comfort zone. And it was the same way when he was in the Jets, when he was air quotes seeing ghosts. It was the same. It's always been, that's been his Achilles heel. But the offensive coordinator is aware of that. So what's he going to do? Everything in his power. You know what I mean? 12 personnel, heavy sets, do everything in their power to make sure that if the Rams pin their ears back and they're going full speed, and if they keep that pocket clean to 2 seconds, he has a pretty good wide receiver in JSN. And he's got some pretty good tight ends. He's gonna, you know what I mean? But it really comes down to the trench play, in my opinion.
And you know, I'm gonna piggyback off that and say they lost Charbonnet, But Walker, as long as Walker can come in and run the football, the whole point of it with Seattle is like I said, Seattle makes it real simple. Mr. Corey was talking about, oh, you don't have to do this. I'm gonna hand the ball off to you. I'm gonna throw. I'm gonna keep those paper cuts going. I'm gonna drop it off to JSN for 10 to 15 yards, and if you get twisted, I'll go 20, 25 yards on you. I mean, and it's just move the ball down the field methodically. That's what Sam Darnold does.
The thing is, Swag, people with Sam Darnold, they always want to remember how terrible he was on the Jets. Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers were terrible on the Jets. It's the Jets. But the one thing they also need to remember is last year's Minnesota playoff game, he wasn't all that great either then. So, like Tim's saying, is you're right. You get to him, you can rattle him. So hopefully he learned a little bit since last season.
So do y'all think, appreciate it, Brianna, do y'all think, JB, do y'all think that the Rams can, because the Rams didn't really put a lot of pressure on Caleb. Do y'all think the Rams can put pressure on him?
Yeah, I mean the Rams are gonna have to. I think that's gonna be with Jared Verse. I think it's gonna be the key to their game to really derailing the Seahawks. You know, to be honest with you, I think that's how they beat them.
I mean, Joe Tuna with Jared Verse ass. I mean, all day long.
He did. But this is a division game. You know, like I said, this is the third time that they're playing. You know, they know each other very, very well. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, but I think the Rams come out on top. To be honest with you, their game plan needs to be getting to force Darnold to see ghosts once again.
And so you think the key to it is to get the Darnold too? I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Even if they can get the Darnold. I just believe that the Seattle. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why, and I gotta say this. Can anybody explain to me why the only offense that seemed to have success on the Seattle Seahawks defense is the Rams?
Yeah, that's a fact.
I mean, like I don't understand it. I mean, like the Rams just seem to be able to move the ball and score points on them.
I can tell the only reason is to JB's point, in my opinion. The only reason is to that because when you don't see teams multiple times, there's certain moves, there's certain abilities that these players have hidden in their bag of tricks. But when you see these guys, some of these guys have been on the team for multiple years. When you see them multiple times, that inside swim move by a defensive end, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, they know it's coming. They know it's coming. So it changes the whole perspective. That's a big piece as well.
You guys are mentioning Sam Darnold a lot. So I went back, right, and I watched both games, right, between these two teams. There was a big difference, right? In Week 11, when the Rams beat the Seahawks, right, Kenneth Walker had a big game. Charbonnet had a big game. They were able to establish the run really well, all right? And then I rewatched Week 16, right, and there was a lot of sloppy missed tackles on the Rams defense, and Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker both fed. I think Kenneth Walker is actually the determining factor who wins this game, especially with no Charbonnet. They're going to have to lean on Kenneth Walker. And that was the big difference I saw between the two games is the Rams defense didn't quite look as good in Week 16 because there was a lot of missed tackles. They weren't soft in the run. So I think the key matchup to me is Kenneth Walker versus that Rams defense.
But Swag, if I could ask a question to the panel, I asked a Seahawks fan yesterday, and he gave me a pretty solid opinion-based thought to this question. So far this year, the Seahawks have been very balanced with their running back duo, as far as carries, as far as what position, when they're running the ball, each back. With it being this late in the season, is Kenneth Walker going to have the legs to go as the bell cow for a full 4 quarters? Because he has gotten a lot of plays off. He has gotten a lot of times where Charbonnet comes in when he needs a breather. Yes, they have other running backs, but they're not to the caliber of Charbonnet.
Yep.
So I agree, Tim. Like they're going to be leaning on K9. Do we think K9 has the legs?
That's what I'm saying. I think that's the determining factor in this game, Tim. I agree with you. I think it's Kenneth Walker. K9's going to have to be that guy.
Well, guys, so y'all know what he's talking about is if a running back doesn't have the legs, what would normally get 3 and 4 and 5 yards would be 1 and 2 yards, or they'll start turning the ball over because they're tired. They don't have the legs. They can't handle the pressure That's why most teams have two backs. I mean, and they use both of those backs effectively, but they lost one. So now you got to bring in now we got to throw this out there because we wouldn't be a good panel if we didn't. There is a such thing as finding that somebody on that sideline that's a diamond in the rough. That's a running back. They come in, we don't know anything about them. The Rams don't know anything about them, and then they start running this guy, and all of a sudden this guy started being successful. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying that it is a possibility. But if they don't have that, I don't know if Kenny Walker. I don't watch Seattle long enough or enough to know that Kenny Walker has the legs or not.
So I think it has to be that way because Kenneth Walker is. Sorry, Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
Gordon. No, I was saying, think it's gonna be an old school battle in the trenches.
You couldn't out, Coach.
You couldn't out, Coach.
You couldn't out. You couldn't out. We didn't have your season.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
I just was going to say that Kenneth Walker is Najee Harris, man. He's the king of the 3-yard rush. So they better find someone else on that sideline that can come in at least, 5-6 rushes just to be different. They can't just use him every play, man, or he's out of gas.
What's up, you guys? Bag, what you got on this, man?
That's all I got. Sorry, Coach.
Bag, you're a 49er fan. You play both of these teams.
No. I'm a Ravens fan, baby. Don't do that.
My bad.
Nah, I'm not messing with you. But yeah, I'm a Ravens fan. Like I said in the comment, to me, like Coach said, it's in the trenches, right? It's going to be determined. That's just football in general. That's always determined in the game is who's going to win in the trenches. And from my personal opinion, like you said, Swag, we've been talking a lot about Sam Darnold, but let's flip the script and let's talk about Matthew Stafford. The reason why Matthew Stafford has a lot of success against that Seattle defense is because he's a veteran quarterback, right? He understands we got to get the ball out quick to our playmakers. You know what I mean? The Seattle Seahawks are going to have to establish the run, like you said, because if not, I watched the 49ers, whose defensive line is nowhere near as good as as the Rams. I seen them get home in the first half and get Sam Darnold rolling out that pocket. They sacked him 2 times in the first half. They made him throw ill-advised passes that could have been tipped and picked off, but they weren't. Versk and Fisk is not going to just sit back and not do nothing, right? If they don't establish the run and the Rams defensive line gets to pin their ears back and just headhunt at Sam Darnold, it's going to be a long day for Sam Darnold. So that's why I said the defensive line is going to determine the game because Matthew Stafford is going to get the ball out quick. So I don't see that great defensive line for Seattle getting home and getting too many sacks and making him make too many mistakes. But what we have seen, and I get, we don't want to, carry over his whole career of Sam Darnold's who he is when he was with the Jets. But also at the same time, even last year when he had a great year and went 14-3 with the Vikings, what happened when he got to the playoffs against the Rams, right? He looked like Sam Darnold from the New York Jets. Multiple interceptions, inaccurate passes. If they can replicate that game plan, get pressure up the middle to where Sam Darnold has to roll out to each one of those sides, that's when mistakes are going to happen. And I got the Rams coming out on this one.
You were saying that they can get him off his spot.
Yes.
Get him off his spot because I'm looking at the audience and I'm looking at Legit is saying, look, everybody, Sam Darnold. Here's my thing. Legit, I did see Sam Darnold play in a game with that pressure. He seemed to overcome the pressure. But you got to understand, his track record, his film, everything about him says he cannot handle pressure. And believe me, if I was the Rams, I would make him show me that he can.
Yep.
Because until he's standing in that pocket and show you that he can, I would say show me. Show me you can. Because I'm going to put so much pressure on you. It's to the point to where I want to see what you'll do. Will you give it up? Will you make smart decisions? I mean, what would you do? Because here's the thing. I seen in a game like this, it's going to come down to patience. Like I really like A-Train was talking about the running game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to be patient because I know you and you know them. I mean, hold on, guys, hold on. Somebody need to mute. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I know them and they know you. They know you, you know them. So it's gonna come down to patience. Who can come up with a game plan that's different than what I've seen before? I don't know if you can come up with a game plan that's different.
Now, Swag.
Go ahead.
When I asked that question to the Seahawks fan yesterday, he gave me a very interesting answer, and I had to respect it. So I asked everybody here that question, and he said from them playing the Rams, he's noticed that they are very good inside the trenches. They're very good inside zone, stopping the run there. They're very good. He said what he would like the Seahawks to do, and I can't argue with it, is to go to that CMC status, not with K9, but bring Shaheed in. He said if they bring Shaheed into the backfield and get him on these swing passes and these passes in the flat, we know what he can do in open water, so to speak. And he said that, and I said if the Seahawks come with that chess move, that'd be pretty interesting to see how the Rams react to that.
That would be devastating for any defense. Shit, this dude on the flat versus a linebacker or a safety, forget about it. I mean, like once he kicks, he's just outrun everybody. I mean, Coach.
That was a very interesting answer, I thought.
That is a very interesting answer. What's up, good Santana? Coach, you ready? Coach ain't ready yet. We went to back. Jordan.
Yeah. Hey, Swag, give me like 5 minutes, Swag. Give me like 5 minutes, please, brother.
Okay. Jordan, what you got on this game, man? Jordan, you there? Everybody got bad signal today? Well, it must be that storm.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you hear me now?
It must be. Yeah, I can hear you now.
It's got to be silly. Okay, so against the Rams and the Seahawks, likely it's going to be. We all know it's going to be a defensive game, but that's going to be who's going to score. Who's probably going to score the most points?
You got to get your signal. You got to get your signal.
Yeah, you cutting in and out, Jordan.
You cutting all the way out.
Okay.
Get your signal right. We'll come back to you. So, because here's the thing. I love the takes that you guys are all giving on this game. Because here's why I say that. We can have our guesstimations on who gonna win. Like that, we can have our guesstimations on who gonna win. But the last game I watched, I gotta bring this up because we can't just gloss over this. If I'm not mistaken, the Rams was up 20 points on Seattle when they came back on them. They was up like 20 points, and the Seattle Seahawks was able to win that game. They went way out of their comfort zone to beat the Rams. Now, don't get it twisted. Man. Matthew Stafford is balling right now. And he ain't balling. I heard somebody on your show, JB, was talking about Matthew Stafford, man, he just didn't look good. And I put in the comments, great players ain't always great. They're just great when they have to be. NFL films. And the reason I said it is because if the game is close and that ball is in Matthew Stafford's hands, that is not a good thing for Seattle. What Seattle does well is they smother you. They just beat you up. In other words, they defense just smothers you to the point that you can't do anything else, and then you concede. I mean, that's what they did to the 49ers. I watched the 49ers try. And I know the Rams are different from the 49ers, but I watched the 49ers try all different types of schemes. Didn't matter. Seattle they just had their ass. I'm not letting you do anything. I don't know if they can do that to the Rams. And I got to bring this up to the panel. I'm going to ask a question because we're talking about Sam Darnold, and I want to hear what y'all have to say. I have all the confidence in the world that if that ball is in Matthew Stafford's hand to win the game, he's going to do it. I've seen him do it too many times recently. I mean, like, he just do it. Can Sam Darnold do the same? If the game comes down to Sam Darnold driving that team down that field, can he do it? Do y'all think he can do it?
Can he do it? Yes, 100%. You know what I mean? But it really depends on how the Rams defensive coordinator throws wrinkles at him. If it really turns into the chess match of the coaching staff, because if they give him a look for the entire game and they let Darnold fall into some rhythm where it's haymaker to haymaker, touchdown to touchdown, and then when we get to that point that you're talking about, if the Rams come with a wrinkle and they catch him, then no, he's not going to be able to do it. But if they stay in that same formation that they've been doing and try and stand toe-to-toe in the ring and go haymaker to haymaker, then I think Darnold can. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Cali.
All right,
Coach, you still?
What's up? Yeah, I'm ready now. What's going on, brother? How y'all doing? Pardon the delay. You know, I got this 16 to 21 inch storm projected coming at me, so I've been getting ready for today. I'm getting ready for it.
It's coming at me too, Coach.
Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, it's going to be a battle of the trenches. I think it's going to be a battle of the trenches. I think it's going to be Verse, and I forgot the other brother's name on the other side. It's going to be them, and it's going to be whether or not, like Bags has said, they can put pressure on. I think Swag had touched on it. If they can put pressure on Sam, get him uneasy, get his feet moving, because we know Sam is a pocket. We know he's a pocket passer, so we can get his feet moving, have him rolling left or right. I don't really think it matters. Just have him moving. You know, I think that's what the Rams have to do. And Seattle, I think Seattle, if their line, see, this is what I've been trying to tell you. If their line can arrange it so they can just stay in front of the sticks. If they can avoid penalties, stay in front of the sticks. Because all you need is 3.4 yards of play, right? All I need, the big plays will come. But if I keep getting 3.4 yards, and that ref keeps saying first down, and you keep seeing them chains moving, I don't care how good your defense is, you're going to give up the play. The worst thing a defensive lineman can hear when they're running the ball and it's been a long drive, the two worst words he can hear is first down.
You see what I'm saying?
Those are his mortal enemies right there.
Real quick, legit. I like what you're saying in the audience, and I just wanted you to know, legit. This show here, I'm just to let you know, and I'm nobody bashing the Seattle Seahawks. A lot of respect on this panel for the Seattle Seahawks, my friend. So I'm just letting you know, we just giving what we think could possibly happen.
When Swag, you know me, when we're ready to flip the script and you want me to go to Seattle side, you know what I mean? We're football fans up here. Yeah. Right now we're focusing on this. This is not any hatred or anything negative. But as soon as we flip that script, we can do the same thing the other direction.
Right. I mean, because we talking about the Rams right now. We eventually are going to talk about the Seattle Seahawks, believe me. And it's a lot to talk about. But the key point is, and what I want to do is I told my panel, and I told everybody on here, I'm going to erase every narrative that I can possibly erase off of TikTok for people talking about this, and they're using the same narrative every time I hear them say, it's Sam Darnold, it's Sam Darnold, it's Sam Darnold. And like Mr. Corey said earlier, Sam Darnold's job is just not to fuck up. That's his job. Just look, do not turn the ball over. Take the sack if you have to. Don't force anything, and let our defense get their ass on the field. Now, normally in that situation, I would say, Mr. Corey, he's 100% right, because you guys as a Seattle Seahawks fan should trust your defense. But now, however, for some strange reason, Matthew Stafford can move the ball on your defense. So what that means is, if the Rams can score, that means you got to come back and you got to score. And so, I mean, it's just like, they keep scoring on us. We got to keep scoring on them, because the last time they started scoring on you, you couldn't match score for score. Then you came back at the end. If you can match score for them, then I would ask everybody this question: if they get in a shootout, who gonna win this game? Who you think gonna win this game?
Now listen. Now here's my take on that, right? And I was just about to bring that up. Now, here's my take on that. My question is, because Stafford has two very good, comparable, capable tight ends over there. Also, Kyron Williams is a decent receiving back coming out of the backfield. Now, what my question is the Seahawks tight ends, are they going to be up to the challenge? I haven't watched a lot of Seattle football, so I'm really pretty much asking the question, really. Are they able to cover tight ends? Has their coverage of tight ends and running backs out of the backfield, has that been a problem for them this season, or have they handled that well this season? Because Kobe Parkinson and what's the other boy, Higbee, they are two very big, physical. I'm not going to say all pro, but I'm gonna say sure-handed receivers, tight end receivers that Matthew Stafford has confidence in. He uses them a lot. So I'm asking if anybody can answer this question.
Coach,
Can they cover?
I can
have
answer
they
that.
had a problem covering? Have they had a problem covering tight ends this season?
I can answer that.
Oh, go ahead, Callie.
Yeah. So the first game we played them, they had a really hard time covering tight ends. Because even in that last play when we scored at the end, our tight end actually scored that touchdown. So, but even during the game, they were having a very hard time like covering schemes with the tight ends. They locked up the receivers, but the tight ends were like wide open. So they do have a hard time with that. And the Rams do have very good tight ends. So that's something else to watch during the game as well. Is Seattle going to be able to make that adjustment on those tight ends? Because if they don't, Stafford going to pick them apart with them tight ends for sure.
No, and that's why I said Williams, because he uses Williams
right.
in the flat.
Byron,
he uses Williams in the flat. He uses Williams as a check down underneath. And Williams is very he can be elusive in space.
He can. Yes,
he
can.
So that's my question. Like, has their linebacking, has that second level, that's why I was asking, have they had problems with covering tight ends and running backs? Because Stafford has those at his disposal.
Let me tell you this. A-Train brought up a good point earlier in the show. And I'm just going to say this. If they have trouble covering tight ends, you can bet your ass the first formation you're going to see from the Rams is 12 personnel. I mean, I'm just trying to get everybody to understand the Rams have put lineups in the game where they have three tight ends. I mean, they have three tight ends, and they'll show you. I don't know if y'all noticed this when y'all watching a football game. I don't know about you guys, but legit, I see you in that. But remember, legit, we gonna get to Seattle and invest. I hear that they're the number one defense. I get what you're saying, but you got to understand something. Every time I've seen y'all play the Rams, they did not have a problem moving the ball on that defense, and they didn't have a problem scoring points on that defense. That's why I say you guys offensively got to match their power. They can score on you. And it's crazy. I don't know why, but they just can't. I mean, they can score on you. So, and the whole thing I'm going to say is this is also a divisional matchup. So since it's a divisional matchup, man, it is up in the air. But I'm going to say this. If you can't, they're going to get into formations that's going to, because in the beginning of the game when they have the scripted plays, they scripted about 20 plays. Then after that, they're kind of starting to show you, they're kind of starting to show you by watching their formations. If they keep coming with these same formations, they see something that they believe you can't stop. So until you adjust to it, they just keep doing it. We watched Dennis Allen line cornerbacks up on the edge and bring them at Stafford all day long. Until Stafford then finally said, you know what, you keep doing that, I'm going to throw the ball to the flat on a place that you're blitzing at, and then when that happens, I'm going to hit you for big plays. And they start doing it, and you know what? Dennis Allen had to come out of it. So I want to see what Seattle does defensively to slow the Rams' offense down, because you do not want to have to come back on the Rams like you had to come back last time. You don't want to do that. That takes too much out of you, and something can go wrong. Like that, I mean, it just can go wrong. I mean, so you got to match point for point with them and bring it down to the end of the game and say, let's go. Now let's find out who's the better team.
And Swag, I know you don't like giving things out for free or anything like that, but there's one guy that I think has kind of gotten slept on. He did a couple years in Indiana. He did 1 year in Michigan, and he's progressed. This is his second full season. I think Seattle is going to focus on A.J. Barner. I think that he is going to have a major influence in this game because this year he's got 52 receptions for 500-plus yards and 6 TDs. From a tight end, people look at that and they go, oh, it's not 1,000 yards. Your average tight end, that's more than above average. That's doing well. And I feel that they're going to put so much focus on JSN and Shaheed that they're going to have to find that outlet, either to K9 in the flat or something like that. But I think if A.J. Barner can find spots in space, I think it's going to be because the first time they saw each other, I just pulled it up. The first time that Seattle played the Rams this year, he had 10 receptions for 70 yards. That's a good average, and that means they fed him on 11 targets. So if he's their little pocket guy to find in the windows, he's going to get them some first downs.
Flag,
and the answer,
I wanted to ask something real quick, mister. For people that's saying that, no, don't get me wrong, having the number one defense is a big thing. That's not a little thing. However, just because you have the number one defense don't mean you don't have some weaknesses in that defense. Please understand that. Just because you're number one don't mean that teams can't figure out ways to get to you. It's harder, 85 but there are ways to cut through you.
No. Legit, it's not. And I agree with a lot of things that you said in the audience, legit. I agree with a lot of things in the audience. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, in the NFC and AFC championship, in most cases, throw the rankings out.
Do you want to bring them up, Swag? Right. I'll drop. You want to bring them up?
Hey, Swag.
Yep, that's what I was saying, Swag. You got to throw that stuff out the window, too.
King says no. What you say, Miss Corey?
I just wanted to point out that when you're talking about Sam Darnold and whether or not can he make a comeback from behind or can he win the game in a shootout in the playoffs, I've never seen him do it before, so you can't really count on it until you see it, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I would think so. He's been doing well all season, so I don't see why he couldn't, but I've never seen it before, so I can't count on that.
He may have to, though.
Right, yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful of my part. No, you good, legit. You good. I'm just saying we're not dogging your team, Seattle. We're not. We just
not at all.
I mean, we're not trying to do that. And these points that we're giving are actually pretty damn good. I mean, if they wouldn't, I'll tell you they're not good, but they are good. And then and I'm gonna be honest, I forgot all about AJ. Because he had the quietest 10 catches, 70 yards I've ever seen.
He cold, Swag. He a cold dude, bro. He'll sneak up on you. He the type. He just like Rashid Shaheed. He'll sneak up on you out of nowhere.
I want to bring up something that Joe's brought up earlier in the show in the audience, man. We looking at these two teams, and we both know that these two teams play close games every time they play each other. But the Rams do have a special teams issue. Like, they really do. They didn't give up block punts. They didn't give up returns. We saw what Callie, we saw what Rashid Shaheed did last game. And it
don't remind me, man. Don't remind me.
It was we saw your kicker doing a soccer style trying to trip somebody.
yeah, because he was gone. I'm telling you, Shaheed has speed ain't nobody seen in a minute. That dude is bad.
I don't know if you guys know this, but McVay moved on from his special teams coordinator later in the year, so that's why it looks so bad. Okay. If you don't have, if you don't have a special teams coordinator, it's going to show on the field.
Oh, yep. So I didn't know that. Wait a minute. So he moved on from his special teams coach?
Mm-hmm.
You might want to, you know what? You might want to keep him. You can do probably.
All right, baby. Take care of yourself. All right, see, I'll see y'all later.
And to answer Common's question, the Seahawks, that is their weakness, is the tight end. Right? They are one of the bottom covering tight end defenses in the league. So that is going to be the weakness that Higbee and Kobe Parkinson's going to have to attack with Matthew Stafford. That's probably ideally. And to your point though, Swag, the rankings do kind of go out the window when it gets to this time of the year, the AFC Championships, because obviously you're good enough to make it to this point, right? So you're playing another good team, right? So, but you do got to kind of keep them in perspective, because what you do great all year is what you do great, right? And what you don't do good is what you don't do good. So if I'm Sean McVay, I'm going to hit a lot of play action and go right over the middle or right over the linebacker's head and try to get Higbee and Parkinson involved early. And we know, right? And I think the difference of why they came back was the Seahawks were able to come back in the last game was, if I'm not mistaken, the second game they were missing Devontae Adams, right? And that was a huge hamper for their offense. They had Puka had a great game. If I'm not mistaken, that's the game he had 200-something yards and like 2 touchdowns. But when you have to rely on one guy, it kind of takes the flow out of the game for everybody else, right?
I'm gonna say this legit. The Seahawks are the most complete team, and that has nothing to do with if they're gonna win or not. So
that's facts.
I'm just trying to hold on. Go ahead. I'm getting a second, Coach. I'm just saying, y'all need to understand. I'm just being honest. You can have the most complete team ever, man. Remember, this is one game. Do or die. This is it. You don't get it in no series. You screw up, you lose the game.
One mistake.
It's just one game. So I don't care if you're the most complete team. You can still lose, and you can still win. Go ahead. I want to get Coach team. Go team.
And I was just going to bring up, and that's what I was just going to bring up. Swag, is that I understand, and yes, I will agree. Seattle's playing the most complete team ball. No, I'm not going to deny that. Not going to take their accomplishment away from them. They have, I think Seattle has a better offensive line. I think Seattle is the better team. But I'm saying that to say this. It does not matter who has the better team. The only thing that matters is who plays better that
I was waiting for that, Coach.
This is not a series. It is not a 7-game series. In a series, yes, usually 9 times out of 10, the better team wins because it is a series. When you are in a 1-game elimination style type tournament that the NFL playoffs are, my team does not have to be better than yours. We have seen better teams go home in the playoffs. Why? Because they did not play better that day.
And to that point, I was going to ask my question. Yes, I agree. The Seahawks are the most complete team. We'll say that. But my question was going to be, and it kind of feeds into what you said, from the eye check, which team has been getting hotter at the right time the last few weeks?
You would have to say Seattle, in my opinion, because
I think the Rams. I mean, the Rams with their defensive. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Rams that barely escaped Chicago, and then we look at the Seahawks who blew out the Niners.
The Seahawks.
But we can't use that as a barometer, A-Train, because they're 2 different teams.
Well, let me give context.
2 different teams with 2 different situations. One team was riddled by injuries, and to be honest with you, it was just great coaching and the luck of the draw that they were in the position that they was in. Right? Yep. Then you have another team. You have another team that was riding into the playoffs full of confidence because they had overachieved everybody's expectations on what they were going to do. So I don't think that's a good barometer to try to measure them off of.
I mean, you can call it how it is, but 41-6 and then just barely escaping the Chicago Bears. I mean, 2 different things, obviously. But I mean, the Bears could have easily won that game. If they go for 2 and get it, I mean, we're having a different conversation right now, and the Rams are at home.
Absolutely, but how many tip balls and went the Bears' way, and that could have went the Rams' way? Like, we can always do the what ifs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying that I don't think that's a barometer you can use as far as them blowing out another team and them having a hard game. I don't think you can measure that as far as how this game is going to go off of that.
This is what I think. I think if the Seahawks can get home with 4, right? If they can get home with 4 and disrupt Matthew Stafford, it's going to be a long day for LA, right? Because the Seahawks like to play a lot of heavy zone, right? And if they don't have to split the safeties or bring anybody down in the box, it's going to be a long day for LA. I'm telling you right now.
It makes sense to what you just said, A-Train. I'm gonna just say this right now. That point makes sense. I'm gonna just say this right now. That's why McVay came into that last Seattle game running the ball. Like he wasn't even gonna get, because here's the thing. If I can run the ball effectively against Seattle, that means I can take that steam they have from getting in front of them 4 people to my quarterback. And that means my play action can work. It can work now, and it makes them linebackers hesitate. But I'm going to twist that around and just say, what if Seattle said, I'd be damned if you going to come in here and run the ball again? I'm not letting you do it. And they make Matthew Stafford throw the ball, because I haven't seen either one of these teams, when they play each other, make the other one one-dimensional. I haven't seen it at all. So –
And A-Train, I don't disagree with your statement. And the context from my personal perspective, when I say the team's getting hot, is Seattle stayed home. They got to rest. They got to relax. They dismantled a 49ers team that was a good game with the Eagles, but they didn't match up with the Seattle with where they're at with injuries and whatnot right now.
Because when I saw Matthew Stafford,
let me just finish this real quick.
Go ahead.
The reason why I go with the Rams getting hot is because they had to travel to Chicago. They had to travel into the frozen tundra of Chicago, you know what I mean, and play them at home into a gritty game, and they came out with the W. Now, granted, to your point, there was some things that could have gone their way to give Chicago the W, but LA going in there, building that confidence, that's how I see them as getting hotter at the right time, if that makes sense.
And I just personally haven't seen Stafford on fire since he hit his hand on that helmet that game. I haven't seen this elite Stafford I just haven't seen it. And the big factor between the last 2 games was Devontae Adams, right? That's huge. I think Devontae Adams is huge in this game, too.
Absolutely.
I agree with him when he said I hadn't seen Matthew Stafford hot, because if Matthew Stafford would have got hot on Chicago, it would have been a big.
It'd have been a blowout.
And but
MVP.
But here's the thing, A-Train. Here's the thing. Would you trust? And every single quarterback that remains, who would you trust when the game is on the line?
Obviously, Stafford has the most experience. He has a Super Bowl win. We got to lean towards Stafford, right?
Right. Well, I'm saying that not because of that. I'm saying it because of his play. In both games that he won, he had to become that guy.
Right.
And he had to do it twice. Now, and I agree with you on that hand. I don't think that hand helped at all. I mean, I totally agree with that. But when that guy had to be great, he became great.
Right.
And that to me is more dangerous than throwing 4 touchdowns with 400 yards and having a QBR of 125 or 140 or whatever.
Right.
I mean, because now here's the say though. If he gets into I'm gonna tell y'all something. This game is gonna, is what everybody on this panel knows is gonna come down to. They're gonna say Sam Darnold versus Matthew Stafford. Sam Darnold, win or lose, has to come out there and show everybody he can play like he can play, right? Matthew Stafford, we expect him to play like Matthew Stafford plays. The schemes and all the different things that these coaches are going to throw at each other, that shit going to be gone in the first half. When it comes into the second half, it's going to be mano a mano. Who's better and who do? And I got a lot of Seattle fans that's starting to come in. Seattle is a very dangerous team. They really are. I'm just being honest with y'all. They dangerous because they never out of the game. I mean, like when you got a big lead on them, don't matter. They not out of the game, and they don't believe they're out of the game. I don't know who's going to win this game. That's why I chose this game first, because I don't know who's going to win this game, because these guys, like you said, A-Train, I think it was A-Train said you went back and watched both of them games. I did the same thing. And you know what I came out of that when I watched them? Just as confused as I am right now.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know who's going to win this game, because I mean,
like I said, I just saw a better Rams defense in week 11 than I did week 16. I saw a lot of missed tackles. I saw a lot of just bad play. I just saw a lot of bad play from the defense. So to me, I'm going to lean towards the number one defense over the number one offense. That's why I'm taking Seattle, because I'm going to lean more on a good defense, personally.
I wonder. I'm gonna be honest. I think this game, because I want to pick up what Swag said. I always say, after the first quarter, all that gameplay is going to be out the window. It's going to be mano a mano. And I think the mano a mano that we're going against is going to be Sean McVay versus what's his name. That's what I think the mano a mano is going to be. I don't even think it's going to be between Stafford and Donald. I think the mano a mano is going to be between the coaches. Whose staff is better, able to make the adjustments, able to counteract whatever the other team is doing that they're doing successful, being able to counter that, and pinpointing weaknesses, finding weaknesses, and exploiting them on the fly while the game is going on. And I think that's going to be the real chess match. I don't think it's going to be between Darnold and Stafford. I think the real mano a mano is going to be between the Sean McVay and his staff versus I forgot the brother's name in Seattle. I forgot the brother's name in Seattle and his staff. And Mike McDonald and his staff. That's what I think the real mano a mano is going to be.
Okay, Coach, here's the panel. Here's the go. I love A-Train take. I want to tell you that, A-Train, I love your take. I'm gonna flip the script. If it comes down to the coaching staff has to adjust on the fly, because he's right, that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna see what they did. Okay, that worked on me, so how do I stop that? And it's got to be quick. It's got to be quick. Who wins that battle?
Sean McVay, Swag. It has to be Sean McVay. Like, I remember, we're not gonna name.
Donald's been doing well, buddy.
Yeah, remember that guy that said Liam Cohen was a mastermind? No, Sean McVay is a real man. He remembers every play from every snap. Swag, you name the down. There's a video of him remembering the exact play. That's a mastermind, and that's the guy that takes over games. The last time I seen him take an L, Swag, was the first time him getting in the playoffs, and he got outplayed by the Niners. That's the last time I seen him get outcoached, and that's been a while. That's my guy right there.
That's facts. He ain't lying.
I'm gonna say this, King Saber. This dude. I don't know who wins this battle. That's why I'm asking the question. But I did see Sean McVay say in his press conference after the Chicago game that this game was on me. He said this was on me. I didn't call the right plays. I didn't do the right things. I mean, so now McDonald, on the other hand, he don't have a track record of winning games like this yet. I mean, this guy has been a good coach since he went into Seattle. We can't take that away from him. I mean, but he don't have a track record in this kind of game like McVay does. I mean, so do McVay have the advantage because of that too? Because he has the experience? Or do McDonald and his coaching staff have something up their sleeve that we ain't never seen before? Because the 49ers didn't become the great 49ers until they beat the Dallas Cowboys. Until Bill Walsh showed everybody, I can beat Tom Landry. But so is this McDonald? Is this McDonald moment where he said, "I'm gonna show you I can beat McVay"?
Yes,
I mean
it has to be. It has to be Swag, because we've already seen McVay. We've seen McVay and Stafford go to the Super Bowl and win. You know what I'm saying? We've seen McVay also with the quarterback in Detroit go to a Super Bowl as well. So we know he's capable of getting a team to the Super Bowl. But McDonald, are you able to mastermind that? Yeah. Are you able to scheme better than the guy that's been there and done that? That was also something I was looking at too, is the experience of Stafford and McVay being together. And Devontae ain't never been to a Super Bowl, but he's been this far in the playoffs. Like, there's guys on that team that have went further than just, the conference championship. will that experience help them get past Seattle as well? But yeah, McDonald for sure, this is his moment. Dude, if you beat the Rams and Stafford and McVay and all the scheming he be doing, you already got my props by whooping the hell out my Niners. So
I mean, it makes for a good matchup
you know
too,
what
right?
I'm saying? I respect you already because that was an ass whooping I've never seen
we're
in my life.
anticipating this really. This is really anticipated because you got MVP favorite in Stafford, right? He's probably going to win it, and then you have a Super Bowl winning coach in McVay who obviously has the experience, right? But I also like the 25 takeaways from the Seattle defense and home field advantage because that 12th man is going to be fucking rocking.
Yes. You know what? I gotta say this. As King said, I'm sorry. A-Train, don't be taking my thunder. I was getting into that. You can't say
Sorry. I'll mute up.
I was moving toward that. I really was. As a matter of fact, until Coach brought up the coaching thing, I was like, well, I gotta add the coaching thing. I'm gonna add the 12 man because believe me, they play a role. I'm a Chiefs fan. Believe me, that crowd plays a role.
For sure.
It does. So the thing about it is the 49ers, regardless of their scheme, when Seattle played them, regardless of what game plan they had, regardless of anything that they was coming into that game to do, that game was over when Rashid Shaheed took that kickoff back in the first quarter. It was over. I mean, I can feel the freaking energy from my TV.
All right, Swag.
Go ahead, Ms. Corey.
All right, so I usually have about an hour to spend on the Swag show, so I got to go. I'll let somebody else up, but I can't just leave without telling you something. Now listen, at 4 a.m. Eastern time, there was people at least an hour still discussing the Brandon Cooks catch or interception. How sad is your life if days later you're still on Thursday? If you're talking about Saturday one play on a live for an hour at 4 a.m., your life, you need to review your choices, man. You need, holy shit, who does that? Well, Brandon Cooks, he had the ball. It's fucking Thursday.
You know what?
There's the saddest people in the universe on TikTok talking about shit, man.
I mean, it's hard for people just to accept that Denver beat you. They beat you.
It was one play. Maybe he caught it. Maybe he didn't. It was Saturday. It's over.
Wow. Brian Daboll to the Titans as an OC is crazy.
Peace, Swag. I love you guys, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, man.
Brian Daboll went to the Titans as an offensive coordinator.
That's what Ethan just put in the comments. I did not see that coming.
What?
I thought I swore up and
Hold
down.
on, let me check this out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Ethan would have put it out there if it wasn't legit. Ethan's a good dude.
He's like the Ian Rappaport of this community.
Yeah,
so I trust him.
That's real shit, A-Train. Like Ethan, he's a Rams enthusiastic fan, but he's a football fan as well. So and he's a good dude in general. I don't think he would just put it out there if it wasn't true.
Oh, that's strong, Ethan. I appreciate the love on the show, man. But yeah, Brian. Okay, so I don't know if y'all remember. Yesterday, we're going to come off just a little bit, the NFC Championship. We're going to come off just a little bit. But yesterday, I said Salah has a gold mine because he has all his money over the salary cap. He has all this money to play with. Now, I said, but you got to build your coaching style. That's a bet. Look, let me tell y'all something. I didn't like Daboll as a coach at all.
Absolutely not.
But you're going to give Cam Ward that kind of experience. Watch Cam Ward game. Watch how his game change.
Yeah, listen.
You can see Josh Allen. Just go Josh Allen.
Thank you, Callie, because people fail to realize it was not until Josh Allen got under the coaching of Brian Daboll as his offensive coordinator until he became Josh Allen that we know of today, right? And yeah, I'm right there with Jules. I was high on Cam Ward coming out because, I'm a U fan, first and foremost, Miami all day. Bro. Let's get it. But just
Swag.
I figured he had the most ready quarterback attributes and intangibles coming in out of the class, right? It sucks. We know when you're the number 1 overall pick, bro, you go to a bad team. We all know that. Yeah, Hall of Fame material is a little crazy. Don't jumping out there.
No, it's not confirmed yet.
It's not confirmed. Okay.
Sure,
Daboll flew in, but they're hoping.
To Tennessee yesterday. Daboll flew into Tennessee yesterday, and as of 3 hours ago, he was going into a meeting with owner Terry Pagula. But when he was asked before going into the interview, the 50-year-old's top choice is still to become Buffalo's next head coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was. That's one of the big things. I was like, I didn't think that the Buffalo Bills were going to let him out the building, right?
Let me explain something to y'all. They can't hire you, Tim. You know this. They can't hire Daboll, right?
I know.
They can't. Y'all do understand? Let me King say, if you're gonna love this, if the Buffalo Bills hire Daboll, their organization is gonna go to shit. They can't.
Damn, Swag, why you say
why?
that?
So what do you dumpster fire? I mean, look at the press conference.
Hold on. Listen to me what I'm saying, right? I'm not talking about their talent and they can't win games. What I'm talking about is what you just told the world and your fans and that locker room is I'm going to fire my head coach, who was a winning head coach, who kept us in the playoffs most of the time, deep in the playoffs. And I'm going to bring a guy in that couldn't win 10 goddamn games in New York to be the coach. That's political, guys. That's not.
And on top of that's why you got to add in, if Daboll was to get selected as the head coach, that means the GM didn't make that choice. That means the GM is allowing another individual on that roster who has enough clout to help assist with making decisions to go back to a coach that he had in the past.
And that's why that plane went to Tennessee, because he saw that press conference and is like, "Oh hell no."
I mean, you already done told Keon Coleman we don't want you no more, and you did it on the press conference.
Yeah, that was so disrespectful. That was so disrespectful.
So do we, based off of what you said, do we wait to say that to see what Harbaugh does in New York first?
No, you know why? Harbaugh was fired, and Harbaugh, really it was legitimate reasons. He was fired because of his coaching. This guy, McDermott, listen, King, McDermott was, you got to understand, I'm going to bring a losing coach into my organization. We all know Daboll didn't get along with McDermott. We all know that. So I'm going to bring a losing coach to replace a winning coach.
I disagree. Go ahead. I thought you were finished. Go ahead, Sway.
So King, do you think that's right? Do you think that's going to make the locker room feel good?
No. What I was asking was what you said about Daboll in New York winning 10 games, being a trash coach. Like, do we need to see what Harbaugh does with this New York roster to say, okay, Daboll, all right, we get it. We get it.
I absolutely do. And Daboll had how many years?
What, fourth? Right? Fourth?
Yeah, he's there for 4 years.
He only went to the playoffs once.
But hold on. Let's keep all the context and nuance in order, right? Yes, Swag, you're 100% right. He could not get over the 10-game hump in 4 years, right? But we are talking about two different organizations, right? The Giants have been a dumpster fire ever since Tom Coughlin has left, right? And even in the tail end of his tenure in the Giants, they were still going the bad route. That's why they brought in Ben McAdoo, and that didn't work, right? That was a dumpster fire as well. The reason why I disagree about Brian Daboll not working out in Buffalo is because, yes, Sean McDermott has kept them in the playoffs, but I think that has more or less to do with the division, right? Because once Tom Brady left, that's when Buffalo jumped up. That's when they became the pinnacle team in the NFC or the AFC East. The difference is, like we said earlier, Brian Daboll is the reason why Josh Allen became Josh Allen, right? He fixed his mechanics. The GM put a little bit more talent around him with bringing Stephon Diggs over and Gabe Davis, right? I mean, Singletary wasn't the best back, but he was serviceable. You know what I mean? So if you ask me, I think Brian Daboll would be the best choice for Buffalo because you're going to reconnect him with Josh Allen, right?
Okay, so Bag, what you talking about is okay. Well, I think let's just get two things can be right. Okay, two things can be right. Let me explain. What you're talking about is a coach coming on the team, coaching the team, win games, get to the playoffs. That's what you're talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the trust. I'm talking about the ethics, the character. I'm talking about the things that matter the most when you have a good organization. So I'm talking about the integrity. I'm telling my team, I'm firing Sean McDermott, who I've been with for years, and bringing in Daboll, who didn't have no success whatsoever, regardless of the situation in the Giants. And you ask yourself, if you saw that yourself back and you was in that organization not to mention, I hold a press conference and basically tell one of my players, you literally are you sorry. I gotta get rid of you. And
you're a bust.
All that, then I'm gonna say, oh, by the way, this is your new coach, guys, gonna win some game. And you ask yourself as a human being, if you was in that situation, would you trust? If you were a player, would you trust them now?
I think the press conference summed everything up, honestly.
I mean, would you trust them, Bag? I'm just saying, would you trust that? If you were a player, like I tell everybody when I talk to Dallas Cowboy fans, I always say, would you trust Jerry Jones to keep this player happy or this and that? Would you trust that? After what you've seen with Michael Parsons, would you trust that? I mean, so would you trust the organization now that Keelan Coleman been put on blast? I fired a good coach who was winning, and I'm gonna bring in a coach who have improved himself to run the team. Would you trust that, or would you say, "Oh, this thing is all about politics"?
I mean, I get what you're saying. It is more about politics, but if the question you're asking me, as a whole team, I can agree with you, right? But we know the quarterback is the CEO of the team on the field, right? And I don't know this to be 100% true, but it's just speculation. If you were to say, Josh Allen, who do you trust more as a head coach? Sean McDermott or Brian Daboll? I'm leaning towards he's going to say Brian Daboll, right? Just for the simple fact, when it comes to you, I get you're trying to give all the credit to Sean McDermott because he was the coach and they have been making the playoffs multiple years in a row. But I think that has came off the blood, sweat, and tears and the talent of Josh Allen more than Sean McDermott, right? Just like the same scenario with Lamar Jackson and my Baltimore Ravens, right? That's why John Harbaugh is in the Giants organization now, because those two coaches have stopped these quarterbacks from making the Super Bowl more than they have helped them make the playoffs, in my personal opinion.
No. That's it. No, I respect your point, but I'm just saying that's a hard sell.
Now, can I give a caveat to that? Can I give a caveat to Bag real quick? Now, Bag, I hear what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with it, but hear me out on this. Brian Daboll's your offensive coordinator from 2018 to 2021. You feel that you had now with him as the offensive coordinator, you never won the big game. You let him walk and go to the Giants. Your team continues with that success, almost identical to what they had with Daboll and without him, for the most part. You with me so far? Then, on top of that, you let McDermott walk. Now, last year, McDermott had 12 wins. Brian Daboll, over the past 3 seasons, has had 13 wins total. So it's a hard sell to me as a player and as a fan base that you let this guy walk, but we had the same outcome when he was the OC with the head coach that we just let go, that we're going to bring him in and he's going to make the adjustments to get over that hump, so to speak. But we weren't able, and I understand your points in New York, we weren't able to see him get over the hump. And if I'm a fan base or if I'm a team, I want a fresh look. That's my thought process. Like, I hear what you're saying, but I want a fresh look.
And I can understand that, but this is just to push back on it. Like, yes, you're right. They won 12 games last year, and Brian's Daboll whole tenure in the Giants, he only won 13. But we also got to keep in mind of the level of talent in that they're two different franchises, right? This is why I brought up that the Giants have been a dumpster fire for the last decade and a half, damn near. The difference from me is I personally feel like Sean McDermott threw not only Brian Daboll under the bus, but Leslie Frazier as well, right? The 13-second game in 2021 in the divisional round against Kansas City. A lot of people don't pay attention to the video and the recordings on the sideline. I do, right? I watched Sean McDermott at the 2-minute warning in that game walk over to Leslie Frazier and take play calling from him, right? So that 13-second game, that collapse on defense has to be at the feet of Sean McDermott. But Leslie Frazier lost his job because of it. Following next year, they lose in the AFC Championship, right? Brian Daboll gets thrown on the bus because Sean McDermott, again, take over play calling in the last 4 minutes of the game, and they lose. So when you tell me that Sean McDermott is this, great winning coach and he's the reason why they continue to make the playoffs, I disagree. I think it's been the talent.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying, Bag, because I wanted McDermott fired. I just don't.
No, Bag, I agree with you too. I just feel like you're doing the same thing.
I actually came on my show and told everybody I think that was a good idea for Buffalo, but I don't think it's a good idea for Buffalo to fire McDermott and bring in Daboll. That's what I'm talking about. Because what you're telling me.
That's why I'm at. Because I'm not saying. I'm sorry, Swag, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, because the whole point of it is you're telling your team, well, I made a mistake because I should have kept Daboll anyway. Why not just fire McDermott and make Daboll the coach while Daboll was there? Why let him fire him? Just look, you gotta go. I'm gonna keep Daboll and let Daboll be the head coach. That would have made more sense, and that would have been a great transition. But this is not a great transition. This is showing everybody that I can't be trusted. So I'm not running my team. That's what it's showing.
In this, and I get that. I guess just in this isolated incident, I prefer to go with the devil that I know than the devil that I don't.
And I hear you on that. And I don't think that's crazy, but I just look at it from
easiest way I can sum it up.
I look at it from the other perspective.
Now watch this. This is why I made the comment that the Buffalo Bills were going to go to shit. Watch this. If Daboll comes over there and they regress, they're toast. They're toast because there's you have no way out. It's no way out. It's no way to explain it to the fan base. There's no way to explain it to the locker room. It's no way because guess what? It all goes back to McDermott. Right? So that's what I'm saying. That is a risky now. On the other hand, on the flip side of that, if they go and win and get over the hump, then you're the smartest GM
and you're a genius. Yeah.
But that is rolling the dice. Right. And
that's I'm sorry, so I keep cutting you off. Go ahead. No, but I agree. I'm agreeing with you because my thought process is the scarier thing is you're using more time that the win and everybody's gonna freak out in the comments, but the Josh Allen window is getting smaller. Like it's not he's not 22 anymore.
It's close.
You know what I mean? So to that point, it's not closed, King. Just because you got a 2-second ear trick, stop it, trolling over there. But it's getting smaller. So if it doesn't work out with Daboll, say they try it for 2 years and it doesn't work out, then you're starting to refresh at that point, and then you're 2 years later into Josh's career. Like pieces are leaving. You know what I mean? You're coming to tail end of other contracts. I hear what you're saying about the devil, Bag, and I'm not fighting that. It's just from an outside perspective. I think you start fresh. I think you bring in somebody that everybody can agree upon. I mean, it's not the easiest task, but if they do that, then they know the direction that they want to head, and a fresh breath, you know what I mean, it could be a good thing.
Yeah, a week ago I said that the window for the Bills was closing, and I was called crazy. So this narrative's starting to get pushed. Keep that in mind when I said that. Y'all called me crazy when I said that the Bills Super Bowl window's closing, and now the narrative has changed. No, I'm talking about on the Swag Show about a week ago.
So let me ask this, and then
Kay told me I was crazy. You guys said you didn't believe that.
Kay said he was crazy
because I said if the Bills lose this game, this window's closing. Josh Allen's not getting any younger. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember me saying that for the Broncos.
Thank you.
I thought you said that. I said.
No, Swag. He was saying that he said it on your show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask this one. Let me ask this last question, and I'll leave the the Buffalo Bills situation alone. Okay, so since you Swag and Tim, since y'all feel as though Dayball is not the answer, who would you prefer, who's available, to be the head coach for the Buffalo Bills? Then that's going to best get them over the hump. And I know it's speculation, and it's just for your liking. Who do you think would be able to get that job done?
John Candy.
I honestly don't know, because Josh Allen needs an offensive mind. And I don't know who the coach would be. I just know Josh Allen needs an offensive mind.
The dude that's the coordinator in Seattle.
I mean, like, it could be the coordinator in Seattle. It could be that boy from the Rams. It could be.
Yep, I was gonna say that too.
He needs an offensive mind with a good defensive coordinator, because when I say that is, you got to have somebody that can actually do your thing on defense. And Josh Allen needs to see the difference between, like you was talking about Harbaugh, right? The difference between some of the, and I'm gonna say this: if you give a good quarterback, an elite quarterback like Josh Allen, an offensive mind, like Patrick Mahomes has an offensive mind. Like it's we thinking offense here. We don't have nothing to do with defense. It's just offense. I think Josh Allen, when you get more out of him than what you get out of him now. So whoever it would be, I can't tell you a name back, but I can say he should be an offensive mind and with a great defensive coordinator. Now, Dayball is a great offensive mind. I give you that. And I would probably say it 1,000 times that Dayball would be the perfect person for it if you didn't fire him as an OC.
Well, see, Swag, my only pushback to that is this, right? And I'm going to be honest, my only pushback to that is this. And I've said this on more than one occasion. It does not matter who the head coach is. The head coach it does not matter. I'm being 100. He does not matter. What's more important is who the fuck he hires on his staff. Is the most important thing, is who he fills up the staff with. Because just like, okay, you get an offensive-minded coach. If he hires a buffoon as a defensive coordinator, you're going to be in the same boat. If you get a defensive-minded coach and he hires a buffoon as an offensive coordinator, you're going to be in the same boat. Now, the reason
the Eagles this year.
Now, the reason Patrick Mahomes is successful, yes, okay, he has an offensive mind, but they also got Spags over there who's a defensive guru. So it's about the staff. It's not about the coach. And more than that, a testament, and I'm going to go back to my team, Bill Cowher wasn't offensive-minded. He was linebacker-minded. He was a great linebacker coach. But who did he hire as his offensive coordinators? Shane Gilly, Ken Wisenhunt, Bruce Arians. Who did he hire as his defensive coordinators? Dom Capers, Kevin Butler, Dick LeBeau. It's their staffs. It's the staffs that they had is what make these coaches great. The staffs, not the coaches.
No, and I agree, Coach, and that's what I'm saying. If they bring Dayball in, you're doing the same thing over again. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to have the same perspective. McDermott didn't change the offense or try and breathe fresh life into that with what's his name, Joe. Who's the offensive coordinator in Buffalo?
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady. Like, McDermott kind of kept things the same. Who's to say that it would adjust again? Like, and this is personal opinion, I'm not saying fact. I think that in order for them to move past that hump, they need fresh air. They need a breath of fresh air. And coach, to your point, it's a new head coach, and he brings in, I'm not saying reinvent the wheel, but he changes things, breathes fresh air with a new staff, with a new trajectory. That's my thought process. And Bag, to answer your question, I'm having a hard enough time with my Eagles OC. I have no idea who the hell they hire as the head coach in Buffalo.
I'm gonna say this, guys. I said on the earlier part of my show, y'all give me the show, get to me. This is gonna be a short show because tomorrow is gonna be a 3-hour show. The reason why I'm doing a 3-hour show tomorrow is because I cannot. I know y'all gonna hate this. I cannot do Saturday nor Sunday this week, because I got something. Well, we got a storm, we got all kinds of stuff going on. But I'm just telling y'all, tomorrow is a 3-hour show, and Bag, I expect your black ass to be here. So I need all you guys here, because I can't talk about something for 3 hours. I need you guys here. I mean, so let's do this. Tomorrow is the AFC Championship. We're gonna dive into some of these coaching carousels again. We're gonna do in the NFL, shit change every single day. We'll be diving off into something else. Somebody else will be hired or fired, and we'll talk about that too as well. But I really, really want to finish this conversation tomorrow. But I gotta go, guys. This is your boy Swag. Peace.
This non-casual podcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without the authorized written consent of the Not Move Podcast Network. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.